All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. We're going to be doing another video today with the Garmin R10. We're finally going to get in to start testing some of the accuracy of it. So today's demo, what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to basically compare the Garmin R10 versus my Foresight GC2 device down here. We're basically going to have both loaded into range. For the Garmin, we're going to be loaded into the Garmin Golf app distance range. And then on the Foresight device, we're going to be in FSX Play driving range. All right, and one of the things we're going to test today, other than just the accuracy of between the two units, is also kind of like what it looks like if you use a regular golf ball versus using the RCT ball that's recommended by Garmin, so that you make sure to get that accurate calculation for that backspin number. All right, so real quick, we'll launch into the Garmin Golf app. We'll go over and check the device. So the Garmin is connected. We will just have it go ahead and do the calibration real fast. Just like we have been doing the setup for today, we've got the Garmin laser measured from 15 feet to the impact screen, and then from where the hitting area, the red tee is down here on the floor, we've got that laser measured at 8 feet to the impact screen. So we've got 8 feet of ball flight, and then we've got 7 feet between the Garmin device and our hitting area, which is what's recommended by Garmin. All right, so let's go back out here to the Golf Sim tab, and then we'll launch the regular driving range, the distance range. All right, instead of using my actual weather, since it is really cold and you wouldn't play golf in this outside anyway, I went ahead, since I've got the Foresight set to sea level and it's pretty much optimal conditions, I went ahead and also set the Garmin at sea level, and then we also set it to like 70 degrees, just to kind of get a real good comparison between the two. All right, so we'll start session there. All right, so how today's demo is going to work, basically going to hit 3 clubs. I'm going to hit pitching wedge, I'm going to hit 7-iron, I'm going to hit driver. We're going to hit each ball 3 times. So with each club, I'm going to basically hit 6 shots. And then we're going to compare like basically the shot shape and then the overall distances. First club up today is going to be the pitching wedge. So we're going to go ahead and change that real quick. All right, and the 3 metrics we're kind of comparing today, as you can see up on the screen, we've got carry distance, we've got ball speed, and then we've got backspin. So we'll take a look at those between the 2 different balls and kind of see if we see any huge discrepancy. So we're going to start off with my regular on-course ball, which is the Vice Pro Plus. My pitching wedge, I typically kind of with the GC2 and stuff with other launch monitors, I feel like I carry it kind of around 130. 132-ish typically, so we'll see if we get that out of the Garmin today. All right, so here's shot 1 with the pitching wedge with a regular ball. All right, so we had 2 shots. Both units picked up both. Then the third shot, the Garmin locked up and had a solid red light, so I had to just basically touch the power button to restart it or reset it. So we're going to try to hit a third comparative shot here with the regular ball. All right, so now we've got 3 comparative shots with the regular ball with the pitching wedge. We're going to switch to the Titleist RCT ball and hit 3 there. All right, so we got our 6 shots with the pitching wedge. We only had the one issue, the one no read with the Garmin R10. So now we're going to move on over to our 7-iron. And we move back to the regular Vice Pro Plus ball. So we'll hit the first 3 shots with it. I typically carry my 7-iron usually like in the mid 170s or so. I'm hitting it pretty decent. All right, so we got all 3 shots with the regular ball and the 7-iron there. The first one was really thin, poor contact, but I think both of them picked it up and kind of showed the same flight path on that one. So Now we're going to switch over to the RCT ball and hit 3 with the 7-iron. All right, so we got our 6 shots with the 7-iron. We didn't have any problems or issues or with no reads with that. So now we're going to move on to driver. All right, so we're going to go back to the Vice Pro Plus, my regular ball for the first 3 shots here. Hopefully hit a few good ones out there, maybe 265, 275 carry. We'll see what we got today. All right, so we've got our 3 regular shots with the Vice Pro Plus ball. Now we're going to hit the RCT ball for 3. All right, so those first 2 with the RCT ball, we've kind of hooked a little bit. So I'll see if I can't maybe try to hit a fade on this last one. All right, so we've obviously seen the comparison, the shot shapes. I'm going to go back over now. We're going to compare the actual numbers. Just take a look at like the carry number, your ball speed, and then also kind of the backspin number. We'll just compare all of those for each shot, and we'll kind of see what we think as far as like which ball comes out more accurate. Is it the regular Vice Pro Plus, or was it truly the RCT like Garmin recommends? All right, so as we look at the shot data here, we'll take a look at the pitch and wedge first. So out of these 6 shots, I feel like it did a pretty good job. It did a really good job on shot shape. And then as far as ball speed, those top 5 shots you can see, like, I mean, it was less than a mile per hour difference. The only one we really had that was that 6 shot that had a really large difference in ball speed of 8.2 miles an hour. I think that was just a complete misread. So because of that, we ended up with, a much shorter distance carry number. And so that was like one of our worst shots as far as carry difference in this set. The only other one that was kind of like that was that first shot. It was off by 8 yards. I think that's due more because of the Garmin algorithm when the spin is really accurate, which on that shot, that's the only shot with the pitch and wedge that the spin was actually more on the R10 than it was the GC2. It actually then ends up being shorter. Again, as we look at the 7-iron set here, I think we're kind of seeing the continuation of the pitch and wedge. Most all the shot shapes were really, really good. There was just one that was kind of okay on that second shot there. That one actually had quite a bit less spin out of all these shots, and then that's why the carry distance was much longer on the R10. But outside of that one shot, I think the other 5 here are really, really, really close and do a really good job. All right, and then unlike the 7-iron and the pitch and wedge shots, we got some really poor comparisons here with the driver. Now, some of this is to be expected because we're dealing with much higher ball speeds, much further distances. But just quickly looking at the data, I mean, you can kind of tell that the RCT ball really didn't do a very good job here. It actually got outperformed by my regular ball, the Vice Pro Plus. If we take a look at a couple of these shots, like really I wanted to kind of just highlight like shot shape, and this is kind of what you kind of miss a little bit with the Garmin. So that first shot that I've got highlighted down here, the driver shot number 2, the Garmin kind of read it just kind of as a straight little pull, whereas the Foresight actually registered that as kind of more of a pull fade. And then we kind of did that again on driver shot number 4, and then the Garmin read that as kind of a straight pull to the left, but then with quite a bit of hook to the left. Whereas it was another pull fade with the Foresight GC2. And then the last shot, I really tried to hit a fade and ended up being kind of more of a slice, I would say. A little bit exaggerated there. And so the Foresight picked that up, and we lost a lot of distance. because of the side spin on the ball and that shot shape, whereas on the Garmin you can kind of see it just read it as a kind of a slight push to the right, and so it ended up a little bit longer than the GC2. All right, and here's all of the shots just kind of on one screen, so you can kind of see it color coded all together here. So really, I mean, with Garmin recommending the RCT ball for accuracy, what they're doing there is they're just recommending it because it's going to give you a measured number for backspin. And we can kind of see with the chart here that when we're hitting the RCT ball, most of those shots end up registering for the most part with a better spin number, at least comparatively to the GC2. So I think that number overall is much closer. However, where we end up like not as close on carry distance is because, like I said before, the algorithm in the Garmin seems to be a little bit light, as far as a little bit shorter when it has that accurate spin number. And so you might see some of the carry numbers on the Vice Pro Plus ball actually end up being closer to the GC2, even though their spin is off and maybe even in the red, just because, you know, if they're reading less spin, then the algorithm is allowing that ball to carry further, which is then getting it closer to the actual GC2. So that's one thing inside of Garmin's algorithm. You know, you can kind of play with the elevation a little bit, and we might do that in a future video, just to kind of see like what elevation do I need to set the unit at to try to match or get the best numbers closest to my GC2. All right, so that's going to conclude the demo today. We tested the Garmin R10 and the Garmin Golf app versus the GC2. So I put this graphic up there because we are going to be doing this test 2 more times. I want to do a accuracy test against the GC2 in both the E6 Connect software and then also in the Awesome Golf software, because the softwares themselves have different algorithms, and so they're going to basically spit out a different output based on the data they're receiving from the launch monitor. So I want to kind of see comparatively like which one of these applications is actually the most accurate with the Garmin R10, and hopefully we will know that after these next upcoming videos. But if you do like this content, make sure to give the video a like, and then if you want to make sure you get those notifications when those videos drop, make sure to subscribe to the channel, help the channel out. All right, I want to thank you guys again for watching today. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one.